Cause baby girl, you're beautiful. Cause baby girl, you're beautiful.
Hello, how are you all doing? And this is our podcast show. And our podcast show is, hold on. Now you can go.
Blam!
Hey, we would like to welcome everybody that's tuning into our show tonight. We have a very, very special show for you all. It's going to be a great show. As you can see, we are in two different locations. The Browns are at their home and the Washingtons are at their home because we had to get this show in. We wanted to have at least 4 shows in the month of April, but we had some setbacks. We had some things that was going on and we had to get those things taken care of. But we are back. Yes, we got a show going into May. So this is our podcast show. And since we have that said, we're going to let the ladies introduce their beautiful and handsome husbands.
Okay. I am the beautiful Miss Dominique Brown. This is my handsome husband, Otis Brown.
And I am Jessica Washington. And this is my handsome husband, Herbert Washington.
Blam!
Don't get that.
Well, we got that out the way, and we have people tuning in on our Instagram. If you want to leave some comments, we'll be able to read them now because the camera's right in front of us. But we would love you to tune in on YouTube, which is under the upper room. Look for the 8-ball logo with the UR in the middle, and you can reply to that, and we can post your comments as well on the show, as well as read them off as well. But I guess now I'm gonna get into my
2 for 2.
2 for 2, and reason why she's stressing that 2 for 2 because I'll be going over, and I don't be trying to do that. I get a little excited, but my 2 for 2, as always, but it's not going to be always. It's about marriage couples going through divorce. And the first 2 is Lisa Bonet and Jason Moma. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. They are announcing their divorce for 4 years of marriage. And God bless them. They tried to work things out. They tried to reconcile, but I guess that didn't work. And the other married couple, which is African-American and a Caucasian, Mr. Robert De Niro, you know him from movies. Him and his estranged wife, not entitled. Him and his estranged wife is going through a divorce. And she just lost the what is called a prenup. Mm-hmm. A prenup where the judge said that she is not entitled to half of his $500 million acting income. This guy got over. Look at her. Her, you climbing behind that? You like that?
Hey, listen. Look, man, you went to a divorce, you know.
Go ahead.
Hey, it don't necessarily mean that they accumulated all these things together, but just because the relationship doesn't work.
How long was they married again, Otis?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
No, it doesn't say.
Okay.
But before we get into that, let me read this. At nearly every age, divorce rates are higher for blacks than there are for white women. And there are projections suggest that these racial ethnic gaps as a martial dissolution will continue to grow. Now, my question is, before we get into that, what percentage of celebrity marriages end in divorce?
Ooh. I would say that number might be astronomical.
Why you say that?
And it is. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Washington.
Because we see it all the time. You know, media is a very strong outlet, and we see. I guess right now the first person that pops in my head is J-Lo. You know, she went from this one to that one, married this one. You know, them kind of people. You know, it just you know, when you're talking about that kind of status, I think they think they can move around like that, and they don't take marriage to a very, very high degree.
But we have one of our guests tuned in, and which is the legend. He said that's a win for the men. I guess that Robert De Niro's ex-wife is not getting any money from that outcome. And then we have another a viewer that's tuned in, Miss Girly Fascination. She's saying, hey, y'all. So hello to you. Thank you for tuning in. Please continue to post your comments on the show. Now, with the percentage of celebrity marriages, I always said I don't think that can work. And the reason being, you have two people that's financially wealthy. What do I need you for? What do I need you to buy for me? Because I can buy my own things. And then secondly, especially if we're in the entertainment business, you're going to be traveling. I'm going to be traveling. You may have movies to do, or I may have shows to do, or whatever the case may be. So we always apart. As always, the devil's bringing people, images in our life, and no telling what may happen between that time. So that's why I don't think they can work. But let me read this here before I ask you all for your comments. Spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a wedding only to divorce sometimes between 72 hours and 2 years. This normally happens with celebrities. At least that is what it seems, but it's really true. According to a study out of the UK, Base Marriages Foundation, celebrities have a divorce rate of around 40% within a 10-year period.
I can agree.
So the legend said 70, but it's 40%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say a good nice 50.
So and then my thing is, my question to you are, why do celebrities, and I'm pretty sure because they all in the same realm, all in the same circle, why celebrities don't marry an ordinary person that's got a hardworking job? Could it be because they feel like, well, he couldn't buy me a Bentley if I wanted a Bentley?
No, I was gonna say because maybe I probably feel as if it was crazy because I was watching this show. It's called Marriage Boot Camp. But Kate Michelle is on there. And listen before y'all be judgy. Okay, Kate Michelle is on there, and she is on there with her, I guess, her 5-year boyfriend, but he's a dentist. He's not in the industry. And, you know, it's hard for him to see her sometimes. To see her, she have to do music videos. She has to be gone a certain amount of time. She has to be around a certain group of people. And it's just hard for him to trust. And then on the flip side for her, you know, they're not used to the fast. Oh, it is Kim. Okay. Hey, Kim. But they're not used to the lifestyle of the celebrity, the lifestyle that they live, the money or income that they bring in. It's just a difference. But some do like that type of relationship. Go ahead, because you itching to say something.
No, because just on the flip of what you're saying, and to Otis's question, why don't they pick a average, quote unquote, normal person? 9 times out of 10, if they pick somebody that's in the industry with them, they more understand their schedule. They understand the demand that they have to. They understand the distance they'll have between them. Or I see you here, or I'm not shooting this week, so let's meet up this week. So that's probably why they, you know, we see the whole celebrity jump around, you know.
That's crazy too, because that just reminds me of our friend who's a police officer. Police officers really only like to date police officers because they kind of know what they go through. They kind of know the extra jobs. They kind of know the grind, and you know. It's just, so that's kind of like, that just made me think about that when you're talking about the industry versus when you're talking about just people in the same,
picking a partner.
Yeah. What y'all think?
Well, we have a post on Instagram by Retired Party of 2. Woohoo! Because we're gonna share, and share. But his statement is because it's our uncle and auntie and their mother, father, and father-in-law and mother-in-law. But anyway, the statement they put, they look for someone who has equal funds or more. And that's what I'm saying. And that is so true, because they looking for people that can buy the things that they are used to or they're comfortable with. And I think that's not fair to somebody that can be a hardworking man or a hardworking woman And if you don't want me to work, well, let me work for you and let me be able to travel for you, so we don't have to be distance. And I can be your planner or your scheduler or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. You don't have anything, Ms. Brown?
I feel like they look for the one that's already established. You don't want to put the work in to mold them to be, not saying mold them to be who you want them to be, but you already put an X on that person just because they don't meet your standards.
Yeah.
Money wise. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you looking at the money, like, okay, they we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think a lot of times these celebrities don't marry the ordinary Joe or whatnot because they probably feel like, well, he's really or she's really getting attached to me because of the money and the lifestyle?
Yeah, that could be.
That could be a possibility.
Yeah, that could be.
But I also think of that too. I mean, what kind of conditions are we having here? Talking about marriage, if they meet this person, do we have a checklist now? Like what if this they get the prenup now? So that, to me, that's their backup. But let's just say this celebrity person, I'm a celebrity. I got 50 million in the bank. I meet you just as you are right now as my wife.
I'm gonna have 100 million in the bank.
Well, that's fine. I'm saying if I feel like you ain't making that kind of money, but I really, really, really like you as a person, you vibe, you match me, regardless of what you got, then is that a reason for me to be like, nah, I can't fool with you?
Now you're gonna fool with it to a certain degree, and then after that, if it get too serious, then you're gonna try to kick it to the curb.
No. All right, so we have one comment from Miss Kimberly Stewart. She says, when you get to a certain level, you're not willing to build. I can see that.
But why, when you get to that certain level, you don't want to build me then? If I don't have anything, build me. Help me get to that point.
I feel like
what? See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
We get the head because we're gonna get on this tonight.
Okay, yeah, because now y'all let 2 for 10.
Yeah,
Okay, well, look. That wasn't my fault. Y'all the ones kept going on. But this is what we're gonna do to all our viewers. Please, if you want to post your comments, we can read them now on Instagram. If you want to post them on Facebook or YouTube, it will come across our screen and we can read them. If you're on Stationhead and you tuning in as well, you can also comment in the comment section and we can read them as well, because we have everything in front of us this time because we are not at our studio location where we can't see the Instagram. But we're going to take a quick break. It's going to be about a 2-minute break because I'm going to play a little quick video. Hope you all get to see that. And it's based off the title of the show. So with that being said, we'll be right back. We're going to play the video. Those that's on Stationhead, you'll get the music and you'll get some of the audio. So with that being said, this is our podcast show, and our podcast show is
Blam.
And we'll be right back.
Guy. Brian, today's question actually came directly through email, and this is from Jackson. And Jackson wrote a wonderful email, and it was very long. I'm going to pull out one small segment of it because I think it's so great. This is what Jackson said. He said, hey, I'm
The money guy.
Brian, today's question actually came directly through email, and this is from Jackson. And Jackson, wonderful email, and it was very long. I'm going to pull out one small segment of it because I think it's so great. This is what Jackson said. He said, hey, I'm 23, in a serious relationship, planning on getting engaged soon. Congratulations. I didn't say your last name just in case your girlfriend listens. I know my girlfriend has around $40,000 in student loan debt and is graduating from nursing school this summer. I know my girlfriend has around $40,000 in student loan debt and is graduating from nursing school this summer. I have no debt and about $20,000 in savings. Should we put all of our resources and effort into getting rid of that debt right away if we get married, or just make the minimum payments and follow your order of operations? So his big question is, I'm marrying it for my wedding present for my wife. She's bringing some debt. What should we do? How should we handle that?
So I love this question because this actually sparked us having quite a few discussions in our pre-show planning. I love this question because it spurred some unique conversations for us in pre-show planning. Because my dad and mother used to share the story that before my dad had told my mom, I want to marry you. We're going to get married, but you got to get some of these credit cards and other things cleaned up before we can do it.
Right.
So they had a discussion. So that's my first thing when I get a question like this. Who asked? What's his name?
This is from Jackson.
When Jackson asks a question like this, the first thing, this is a discussion you have before marriage. It's kind of, the big ones are religion, kids, and then debt.
Yeah, that's right.
So definitely have this discussion before marriage. And if you determine, okay, yes, she has some student loan debt. I love this woman. I think this is something we can over.
All right, we are back, and that was a little snippet of what we're going to be kind of talking about tonight. But we also, the title that's showing on Facebook is the wrong title. We'll have to correct that. So we're going to go ahead and post what the title of the show is, and we'll let one of the ladies read that off. And it is
your money my money? Is your debt my debt?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said,
would you like to read that title one more time?
I will. Is your money my money? Is your debt my debt? Listen. We're gonna start off like this. So before you say I do, there's some things you really need to talk about as far as financial wise. Because
what we always say, you gotta ask the right question.
You gotta ask the right question. So, before you say I do, it's important that you and your partner disclose, debts, financial responsibilities, assets, maybe things from your past marriage, your credit scores. I know your credit score but don't affect y'all as far as like the marriage. When you come into it, because you're gonna want to buy a house, you're gonna want to get that joint car loan. You want to open a joint account. You want to do all these things, so you're gonna have to do that together. So 1 and 1 is still 1. It's us. We're 1. So it has to, in all, it has to be communication. Sometimes the conversation might be hard, but it's necessary. Very much so. Because sometimes I feel like in the, I'm not gonna say sometimes, in the Black community, I feel like we don't educate each other and educate the generations coming after us about financial situations, financial wealth. We don't do that enough. Prime example, when somebody die, we're not gonna have no GoFundMe. We're not gonna be selling fish plates. We're not gonna do that. So all that comes in with the financial part. So you have to talk about it.
And it's crazy that my wife said that, because we have meetings before we have our shows. And we was joking the other night because before we got married, I was in a lot of debt. And when the IRS contacted me, it was telling me that they was about to do everything. So I was like, well, forget this way, we ain't getting married.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
That's a true story. That's why we say we can give you our truths, because that's what our show is about. But we're not in that situation now, but it was a time.
Yeah. But like I said, you have to talk about it, because marriage is legal. It's a financial decision, and it's one of the biggest decisions you're gonna make in your life. The government don't care how in love you are, because the responsibilities are still going to remain. What you owe is still going to remain. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
it don't go away.
It don't go away. So you have to talk about it. You can't. You have to be honest about it, be respectful about it, and as well. You have to be open. I mean,
I agree.
There we go. That's the.
I agree. I'm. You know me, Dominique. Listen, baby. Listen, Linda. No, yeah, I 100% agree. You have to be transparent when you're speaking with your soon-to-be spouse. Transparency. Yes, you have to have the transparency, only because when you're dating, you're getting to know the person. And of course, in the beginning of dating, everybody going to show they're going to be on their best behavior. They're not going to tell you that they're in student loan debt up to here. They're not going to tell you that the IRS is coming after you for whatever reason. They may not even tell you they're on child support. Okay. But that's a financial thing as well, because when people, whether it's a man or a woman, most of the time it's men. But if it's a man on child support, when you're talking about marrying someone who's on child support, especially if they have back child support, that back child support kind of comes your back child support, because you want to do the right thing. Come on, let's be honest about it. The Washingtons have child support. No back child support, but we have some child support around here. But when we were getting married, we had some back child support. So these are kind of the things, the topics that we're talking about, because again, if he's on child support and have back child support, now we have to come up with a plan of how we're going to cut that child support down, because
there you go.
I don't know if y'all know, but if Miss Washington likes to travel. Previous Miss Washington, which was Miss Smith, liked to travel. So I can't travel with you without no passport. So I'm gonna need us to get that together so we can make some decisions and we can do some traveling as a couple. So I mean,
right?
But you just have to be honest about what you have. You can't go into it and not be honest, because once you say I do, when you have that binding legal marriage, it's no going back. It's not like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm in $40,000 of child support debt, or I went to school, I never finished, or I went and got my master's and I took loans out the whole time, and I have $100,000 of student loan debt. I'm gonna be like, okay. This what we gonna do. No, but all seriousness, you just have to be, and then you have to talk about, if you do have that debt, how y'all gonna attack it. You can't just say, oh, I have this debt and we don't know what we're gonna do about it. No, we need to make a plan. We have to write out a plan. We have to write out. I'm so thankful for my parents, because my mom is she is finance to the T. So she's the one, like, spreadsheet galore. And of course, I kind of took that on. So I'm like, baby, pay Pierce. I'm like, all right, okay, Yeah, don't touch that. So I mean, but again, you have to know your strengths and you have to know your weaknesses as well. So if in a partnership, in a marriage, if you know that might not be your strong suit, you have to trust the other person to do the right things with the finances.
There you go.
Yeah. But on the other side, if you do the right things with the finances, that person still has to communicate what you're doing with them. You just can't say, let me take care of it, and then he be okay with it. No, you need to ask questions like, okay, I know you took care of this, and this, but did you take care of this? Okay, how much extra do we have? Did you make sure you put some in the savings account? Did you make sure you give our tithes? Like, these are the kind of questions that he's asking, which I appreciate, because we need to make sure that we on the same page. I can take care of everything, but if you're not asking any questions about it, and I never wanted to be like down the line where you're like, well, dang, well, I never asked no questions about it. Like, I'm gonna make sure that you know everything that's going on financially.
For sure. I can't disagree with that. She ain't lying about that spreadsheet, y'all. That spreadsheet be to the point. boy, she'll send me something from them notes, had them green check marks and them X's everywhere. I'm like, oh, look, I ain't did it, But no, whatever we talk about. The topic tonight is my money. Yeah, I think when you get together, a union in a marriage, you have to talk about those things, because at the end of the day, what come in this house is ours. And what go out is out, So whatever you bring to the table, like she said, I was not financial savvy. I didn't really know a lot. Like Dominique had alluded to earlier in the show. I mean, as a kid growing up, I didn't get nothing. I didn't know nothing about no money. I just thought we needed to get it. Not knowing how to spend it. I ain't care nothing about no credit. I'm signing up for them little credit cards on college campus, swiping them up. Next thing I know, I'm ready to be a grown up, get married. Like, yeah, this is my wife, this is my family. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go get me a car. I'm like, Then we pull a credit report, and I'm like, okay. So that's it. That's really important, So, when y'all talk about your finances, you got to be very transparent about what you got. It's ours, because I believe that my money is your money. I believe in that, because my debt is your debt. We're gonna figure that thing out. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have a plan to attack it, though. You gotta know how to attack it. So yeah,
I agree across the board, because like the legend just posts, and we always our hashtag is you got to ask the right questions. And a lot of times, like the legend post, he say, what love have to do with it? Because a lot of times we get in these relationships and we so caught up into the intimacy and being with one another and all of that, we don't even ask them important questions. No. Like, how's your finance? I see you dress good, but your lights probably be off. I see you got a nice car, but you stay with your mama.
Or your gas always on last.
Hey, sometimes need gas. Hey, baby, I need a little $10 little gas to get to work.
All right, so we have another comment from Retired Party or Two. That's why premarital counseling is important, to address a lot of those issues.
Yes,
facts.
And to talk about that, before me and Jess got married, we went through a book. We did counseling, but we go to a book where we had to talk about our finances and what that's gonna look like.
It gave us a whole spreadsheet.
Yeah,
it was pages and pages of financial questions.
Yeah. So then me, I was like, well, at the time, look here. So yeah, I got a little job, but when I get a check, it kind of disappears. So, but we had to be open about it. I'm like, hey, I can talk about it. Hey, I was up somewhere 20,000 in back child support at the time in my life.
Facts.
Coming into marriage.
Facts.
Coming in.
And I think when you said that, just you got a check coming in, I think we have the mind. Well, I'm not gonna say. I think. A lot of us have the mindset of, I got a check coming in. I got money. So you're not worried about you're not worried about that budget because you're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
all the bill collectors, they'll get paid when they get paid. But it's gonna catch up with you one day or another.
And it's really going to
So,
catch up with you through.
Talk about it.
Yeah, it's really going to catch up with you through the with your credit. Like, bro, your credit is so important, and people don't understand that. Our parents taught us your credit is everything. It speaks volume about you. And my husband didn't understand, like, when he say, "Oh, you go get a car, how much you put down?" I'm like, "Put down? What do you mean put down? I ain't putting a dime down. They'll get their money in about 90 days when I pay that first car note." And he just couldn't understand that.
Come on.
And I'm like, but your credit, you can't go in there with a 500 credit score and think that you ain't finna slap down $5,000 or they not gonna ask you for, that's why you see a lot of paper tags around, the first of the year, if you know what I'm saying, because people don't understand the importance of your credit score. So financially, that rolls into your credit score, because if you are smart financially, then it rolls into an increase in credit score, which we all desire to have. So yeah, very important.
And all that still affects y'all.
Yes,
right. Because if I got an 800 credit score, you got a 500. We finna go apply for this loan. What the lender gonna say?
We can give it to you.
Right.
Been there, done that.
Hey,
you have to be smart about it. I mean, educate yourself.
And it's funny you say that. Like, we talking about the cars. Like, when I went to go get our car, I was looking at like the cars that I knew I can afford. But it took my wife was like, she walking around the showroom floor. Like, no, we getting this one. And I'm like, how we? She say we getting out, and guess what? We left with it too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't educated until I maybe got in college, maybe my senior, and my auntie started doing that. But I really started understanding as I started educating myself. So I'm like, okay, you got to do this, you got to do this. All right, well that didn't work. I got to do this. So it's a lot of trial and error. But I'm like, okay, well look, this baby score way down here. He talking about he wanted a car. Okay, well listen, there's steps to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why you walking out there?
And I'm very impatient too.
Baby, listen, we can go right here in this showroom floor, and you can get what you want.
Yeah.
Now, if you just say you choose to put 1,000 something down, then let that be your choice. You don't have to put it down if you don't want to. Well, how I'm gonna get it? Just like this. He want this one. Nah, baby, I didn't work too hard on these fingers typing these letters.
See, and that's the thing. Like y'all had to get to that point though. So it takes time to build up to that, especially when you have either one party or both parties in debt.
Yeah.
So when you have that debt and you just keep accumulating the debt, then of course you going nowhere fast. You on the treadmill, just running, not going nowhere.
Right.
But once you sit down, budget, stop trying to live like the Joneses, because the Joneses struggling too. So don't try to live above your means, trying to look a certain way. You don't even need to do that. Be you, be yourself. I tell him sometimes we can't go. We just can't go. We gotta miss this week, but if we want to go out the next week, we can do that. If we, not trying to spend
we hate hearing that. I heard.
Yeah, he know.
Baby, look, this one right here.
He know.
I'll throw a whole fit.
Oh yeah.
You want a meal cook?
Okay.
What you want?
He ain't there yet.
We got groceries right up in here.
And that's true. So let's talk about on that topic. Being married, what if you come into marriage or before you got, what if, and this is more tailored towards the men, Otis, maybe you can chime in on that. Y'all understand each other's financial situation, but your wife makes more money than you do. How does that, what do you think about that? Is that still our money coming in, or what do you say?
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, right.
I mean, because I look at it like this. This may be my season to make more money than you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Then who's to say? Like literally, y'all, and I can speak on that because when me and Herbert first got together, especially when he had to come to the north side because he's a Friendswood, League City, Dickinson baby. So when he came out here, he had to switch jobs because he was working in Hitchcock. So then he had to take a less paying job, and I was making majority of the money for all the relationship, you know, coming into marriage, making all of the money, you know, doing all of that. But then like he just got a new job in a new district, started picking up coaching here, coaching this sport. Those come with stipends. And then now he make more money than I make. So it's going to be seasons to where I'm going to make more than you going to make more than me, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's ours together. We have a joint bank account. Some married people don't believe in that. We do have a joint bank account. So all the money that's going to go that comes from his paycheck and my paycheck is going into one bank account. And then that's how we're going to pay our bills. And then that's how we're going to give ourselves allowances. That's how we're going to put money in our savings account. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that together, you know, together, you know.
Hey, Herb, when you had presented that question about the person, if the female made the most money, now the old Otis, I would have looked at it as in, well, I got more money. But the new Otis, I don't look at it like that, because even though my wife is the breadwinner, she make more money. I took like an $8 pay cut this year going to a same like situation like you, going to a different job, but we still make ends meet. And when my wife send me that text on payday, like, you got to pay this, you make sure you take care of this, and this what you got to play with. Hey, I used to fight that to the T, bro. Like, how you gonna tell me how to spend my money? Or when she see that I spent the money, she like, whoa, wait. You can't go out and get that. That's gonna have to wait. So I was kind of rebelling against that, but I had to learn. And see, and that's the thing is, it's hard. Like she say, with African American couples, you very seldom hear that conversation. And I guarantee you, when we was younger, amongst our friends, we didn't talk about stuff like that. We just talking about how fine the girl is, and she driving this, and I be driving her car, and she got her own spot, and that was it.
Right.
Thank you for that.
I like how you said, yeah.
Because he
said,
sometimes he's still struggling in that department where he feels as if I tell him what to do with his money. But until he can start paying all the bills and doing all that on his end, then I told him, well, why don't you take it and I get an allowance?
No, and she done said that before, and I'm still growing, but as soon as she say, well, let's switch, and I run from that. I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. You got a system, like, just show me what's going on.
This baby here, like, okay,
it's a process.
Being transparent. I ain't been hey, I gave this baby his budget. Okay, I sent it to him on payday. Hey, do this. Hey, you got this much left over. After you pay them bills, put a little over here. That's your money. But again, if you spend that money, don't come to me talking about you ain't got no more, because you're going to have the whole lot. This baby went got the car paint. I said, Otis, what you mean? He gonna send a text message, that little smart message. And for your information, that ain't how much I got left. Oh, it's not? But what happened to the money? I went and got the car paint. Yeah, so that's a necessity of yours.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do. Because I You should have gave it to me so I can adjust your. No, what was on the car that needs to be painted?
For the record, it wasn't the entire car; it was just the bumper.
Okay, the bumper. I don't care if it was a license plate.
Facts.
Okay, it needs to be painted.
Yeah. And I see what.
Like he's still learning. He's still kind of, he's still knocking the door sometimes. But yeah.
You want to read that comment?
Okay, so we have David L. Smith. Share. A joint account in a marriage is a true indication of trust.
I like that.
Woo! I like that. Hey, man, I don't know about that one. Because some people can be, I ain't talking about us, but some people can have a joint account and the spouse or the significant other can be running through it.
That's why he says a true indication of trust. So
you gotta trust that person. You gotta trust
in control of it. So you trust in them. That is.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, you gotta.
Y'all know this favorite about.
Don't do my cousin.
We're gonna talk about my school.
But no, Miss Kim said, she used the word accountability too. You gotta be able to trust and hold that person accountable. Especially when y'all talking about y'all funds together. Especially when you know your bills, you know what you got coming in the house, you know what y'all got to do week to week. Especially if you're planning, that's called having a budget. If you know the budget, hey, you can't dabble outside of that. Have we done it before? Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
why can't? No, that's a question. That's a question. Why can't y'all stick to the budget?
Because here it is. Us as men, women.
Otis, help us out.
And somebody can fact check this, but it is known that women are a lot better with money than men are.
Okay. Yes.
And us as men, we know we're gonna work, we're gonna provide, we're gonna have things coming in the house, we're gonna do all of those great things. Great. Notice I said great things.
Okay.
But a man looking from the outside, we like, okay, well, I got my little allowance. But then we look up, we see baby like, oh yeah. And then I walk up to the door every day, it's an Amazon package, or I got a new shirt, some clothes.
No. Hold on.
But we don't know.
We got it.
Hush, Otis.
We don't know.
Hush, Otis.
But it could be within the budget.
I'm asking you, why can't you stay on the budget? Otis, why can't you stay on the budget? That's what I'm talking about. If you have your little budget, if you have your budget that you get every pay period, why do you go outside of that?
I might be shouting. This
is what I'm talking about, y'all, because I can say, let's just say $200. Okay, here's your $200. This is your budget for your 2 weeks. He don't get $200, y'all, but we just don't say 200. Here's your $200, okay? He'll take his $200. He'll spend his $200 in 1 week. The next week he going for an extra 100. So this is what I do. Okay, hold on, no problem. So it looks like you need $300. Okay, we gonna budget so you can have $300. Okay, $300 1 week. The next week he going to $350. Now I can't keep increasing you because every time I increase you, that's taken away from savings. So let's just say stay within your means, and he never stays within his budget.
I've been doing better with that.
Better, but you haven't.
Way better with that. Way better.
Yeah, you just gotta. I think men sometimes feel as if that it's a control thing, that they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do. Like I don't know. So me and y'all gotta hop in here because I'm like, this is the budget. Stick to it.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't think it's a control. Like I don't think that way anymore. Because if my wife say
anymore,
yeah. Because I mean, I had to.
Thought it be good,
right? But when she tell me I have to do this and do that, I'm cool with it. And then with sticking to the budget, I'm pretty good at that. Because she know I'll come home and stay home and I won't go nowhere. I just chill at the house. But since we're talking about that, I have a question for you all. Do men or women owe more in debt? Don't try to look at my notes.
I'm trying to, what is that?
Question for the ladies.
Men.
Oh,
That's
Men.
just a thing.
Okay. Whether bias are built into the system or not, the end result is inequality. 1 year after graduation, women owe about 10% more than men, according to the EDI, but not all women struggle equally. Black women average of 13% more than they borrowed after 12 years in repayment. This came out on March the 9th of 2022.
And I'm gonna speak to that. Okay. Is it because, and then it's gonna be y'all, I'm gonna let y'all have a floor on that. And I'm actually kind of defending the women on this one. Okay. When you talk about debt, they said they use the word more after graduation. But if you really look at it, women are probably going to educate themselves more than men, getting higher degrees.
Exactly.
So they're going to have more debt.
That's exactly correct. That's what I was going to say, because they're going to have more debt because of student loan debt. Yeah. But people saying that.
And women do like shopping, big need.
Then now this is for
and do yeah, we do.
We ain't lying about that.
But we know our budget.
You get packages too.
Yeah, I do. But then this another statistic. At about $41,000 on an average, Black women owe the largest amount of debt, followed by white, Hispanics, Latinx, and Asian borrowers. Female borrowers typically require more education to earn a wage equal to less educated men. And you kind of just spoke on that, like they'll go back for more education to be able to get that job, but a less educated man may have the job.
And then I want to, and I'm gonna chime in on this part. You said they have more debt.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, a Black woman is gonna sacrifice till she can't sacrifice no more. Preach. So if that takes robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then you still old and Harry, then that's what you're gonna do. Mm-hmm. To make the ends meet. But nobody never knows that. Yeah, your debt's still adding up, but them ends being met. So I feel like that's why a Black woman has more debt than the other cultures. Because hey, we're gonna get it by any means necessary.
And her, so
if we gotta charge that card up, then that's what we're gonna do to pay them bills.
And they did say for unpaid like student loans. So you was right on that. A lot of them trying to pay back the loan.
Mm-hmm. And you got to think about it too. Some Black women are single mothers, so they're just trying to make it.
Right.
So I'm not saying that all single mothers are struggling, but you know, when you are a Black mother, like Dee said, like we're not finna struggle around here. Like if I got a car, we're gonna charge it up. If I got to go back to school to get this better job, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, if I have to pay more money like if I have to pay more money for childcare, then that's what I have to do because I'm going to school to do this and do that. So like
I'm not gonna disagree.
Because like I witnessed my mama my mama had a good job, but also when I was younger, my mama had 3 jobs trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
But as I got older, you know, she got a better job. But I guarantee I had Jordans on my feet. We had a roof over our head. I had polo on my body. But I know it was a sacrifice she made though. Mm-hmm. I mean, she went without so we can have.
Yeah.
So it was by any means necessary that the kids gonna shine and we're gonna have a roof over our head. But at the same token, you don't know where she getting the money from.
Yeah.
You might be going to World Finance or Security Finance just so the household can function properly.
Yeah.
So
facts.
I mean, like I say, I can see where Black women have more debt than the others.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah. Hey, I'm just reading the statistics. Don't get mad.
But I think that's slowly kind of changing now, you know, because there's a lot of more Black women in power that's making a lot more money now.
Yeah.
Because if they they're close or second in line to the highest paid people in the world. So yeah, but you know, women do be going shopping and bring the man something home to shut him up. That's my boy Nick said. My boy Nick said it.
Nick, and I do. I bring them a little something.
I do too.
Yeah, so
I'm like, man, I got you a shirt.
Yeah, but she got about 5 or 8 bags coming into the house. Like, what the? Or if I get an alert on my phone, package is on the way, package being delivered. I'm like, I ain't ordered nothing.
Look, and I mean, I got the Amazon Prime under my name. I log into it and it say, "Hey, Jessica."
Well, Jessica again is taking over the household finances, so that means she needs the stuff for the house. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I have some things that I want to hit you all with. Retired party at 2 say not counting the bags in the trunk. See, we don't know about the trunk. My wife is good at that. She would leave. Thank you, Auntie.
Yeah.
She would leave the bags, or Uncle whoever goes. She would leave the bags in the car. Then when I come home, I see like stuff on the bed. I'm like, where this come from? And then know what I get? Don't worry about it. What you mean? Don't worry about it.
Baby, them bags been in that trunk about a week. I'm like,
Hey,
how to get this in there what I have known.
Baby, I try to keep that cover going on my back of that trunk so nobody can look in. Oh my.
We got our viewers posted now, and I love it. Thank you all. Now I have top 6 marriage killing money issues. Number 1, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is ours. How y'all feel about that?
No.
What's mine is mine.
What's mine?
What's mine is mine. That's what it got, and what's yours is ours. All right, let me give you a little brief description of what they're trying to say. Sometimes when each spouse works and they can't agree on a financial issue or find the time to talk about them, they decide to split the bills down the middle or allocate them into other form of fashion, equal. What the bills have been covered, each spouse can spend what they have left as they see fit. It sounds like a reasonable plan, but the process often builds resentment over the individual purchases made.
I totally disagree with that
agreement
with that statement, because if I was to come in and say, "Hey, what's mine is mine," and then what you bring me, we gonna share together.
I'll slap you to sleep.
First of all, again, you better know your spouse before you say something like that. Hey, I just want you to know before we get married, okay?
That part right there.
Yeah. No. Before we get married.
No, mine.
All my money is mine. But I need you. That sounds like some old school pimping kind of stuff. Bring that money to me, baby. Bring me the money.
Hey, even though we said that, how many times? Like, I know my wife used to check me all the time when I'd be like, "My this or my that," and she'd be like, "Ours." But how many times have you been around other couples and you hear that and they never correct it?
I mean, again,
yeah,
I think maybe they have that agreement.
We are roommates.
Maybe they have that agreement.
Oh, that's the agreement.
Yeah, maybe so.
The 50-50 thing. Split everything.
It's not our way.
Split everything down the middle. That kind of deal. I can't see it because I think that caused a lot of confusion. Because in retired party too, I hear y'all on the call. Father-in-law used to say, us as men, we used to look at things like that sometime until we got married. We do get in them modes where we like, well, heck, I didn't work hard. That's my money. I could spend some of my money, but that's not really that. At that point, it's selfish. So you can't just look at it as, my. I'm with you, Otis. The first time I ever said, well, that's what I did make that. I made that money. Ooh.
I'm gonna just say, just know that didn't go well. But I feel like people who do the 50-50 thing, they don't have the trust because they don't have joint bank accounts. Because if all money is going into a joint bank account, the bills are coming out of one account. So it's not like that. Okay, well, your check was this week, and then my check was this week. Okay, make sure you take your check and do this. Like, if all the funds are being allocated into a joint account, it doesn't matter where the money is going. It's all going to one household. So, I mean, if you're doing 50-50, you got to be having 2 separate accounts. That's the only way I see it.
A lot of people that's doing the 50-50, it don't work. Number 2, debt. From school loans to car loans to credit cards to gambling habits, most people come to the altar with financial baggage. If one partner has more debt than the other, or if one partner is debt-free, the sparks can start to fly when discussions about income, spending, and debt servicing come up.
That needs to be talked about before you say I do.
Ask the right questions, because the thing is, you hear so many people when they get into a relationship that now that we're in a relationship and I got debt and I ask, can you help me pay this? That ain't mine. That's on you. Because we're not asking the right questions.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
That's something you talked about before you say I do. Be open about it.
Yeah.
Lay it all out on the table. And hey, if that's something you want to take on, move forward.
That's it.
But I have a $300,000 debt.
Yeah, we here together now. You should tell me that
later. hey, Dominique. Hey, the hell with this wedding.
That's a true story. That is a true story.
But
hey, number 3.
Oh,
go ahead.
Just to touch on that again, if y'all do have that debt before you talk about it before, then you say, hey, and then if y'all decide that y'all want to build a life together, you say you get married, then y'all be like, look, this is our debt, we got it. What's our plan to attack this thing?
That's it.
Yep.
You gotta have a plan.
There you go.
You gotta have a plan.
That's it.
Because if y'all don't have no plan, no vision,
the people will perish.
It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna work. Number 3, we got personality. Personality can play a big role in discussions and habits about money. Even if both parties are debt-free, the age-old conflict between spenders and savers can play out in multiple ways. It is important to know what your money personality is, as well as that of your partners, and to discuss these differences openly. And I think you have to know that, because I know my wife's money personality is shopping. She loves to go shopping. She loves to get nice stuff. And as you said, she'll put a nice little outfit to shut us up, as you know, Jessica said, to shut us up, but she'll continue to shop. I don't think it's been a week that's passed that it hasn't been something to come in the mail.
Oh, now you stop. That's my allowance.
See.
I budget myself properly.
Facts.
These bills are paid. These, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, oldest man, you might have to leave that one alone. Hey, because if
I think my spending personality, like, I love to have my nice little cigar.
Cheap.
To have me some time. Oh, I am cheap. If I got my cigar and me a nice little cognac or something to enjoy and watch the game, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of money personality, with the what you say, money personality, I think your personality goes also with how you approach the conversation.
Yeah. Because
you can't come, you answers with no, you can't already come in with an attitude. Well, what you bringing in? What you do? That's right there gonna cause conflict. So outside of the money personality, your personality and how you approach the situation, that can make a difference too.
Hey, to our viewers that's watching on Instagram, you know they only give us a certain amount of time, so we got about 17 seconds remaining. If you would like to jump on YouTube, please come on YouTube and you can continue this conversation with us. Number 4, I have power plays. Power plays often occur in one of these 4 scenarios. One partner has a paid job and the other don't. We see a lot of relationships with that. And majority of the time, I'm sorry, fellas, it's the fellas that don't have the job, that's dropping the females off at work, enjoying their car, being able to run and hit the streets, but you ain't working. Number two, both partners would like to be working, but one is unemployed. Sometimes relationships fail in that, like, I can really, really be looking up, but can't find one. And you may be paying the bills for a year or 2 years, and it's not working out. Hey, big shout out to my cousin Mark Tyler, who's joined. He's off right now, away from us, and we hope for him a safe return. We really appreciate you tuning in. One spouse earns considerably more than the other, and a lot of men can't handle that the woman is making more money. You see the woman always shopping, that we already talked about. She always getting these things, may not buy you nothing for this month because she probably saving up to get you something with your broke 8 whatever, and you ain't working, and you trying to be the one getting upset, but it's her money. Number 4, one partner comes from a family that has money and the others don't.
So as far as the people who, let's just say, so are we talking no job before marriage? Are we saying, oh, maybe got laid off or fired or quit or something like that after marriage?
No, this is pertaining to marriage. Okay,
so let's just say one spouse is, let's just say the woman is working and the guy is not working. If he came into the marriage not working and not having that momentum to work, or no fire, no goal setting, no anything like that, no. That's what we're not going to do. But that would have been on the other person for tolerating that. But let's just say, because this has happened, especially during COVID, people have gotten laid off. A lot of people have gotten laid off. A lot of people have gotten, maybe fired or something like that. But it has to go to an understanding and good communication to where y'all need to talk about, okay, now if one person is not working, what are we to cut? Because we're not going to be able to spend like we used to spend. We're not going to be able to do things that we used to do. We're not going to be able to, maybe even possibly save at a certain point of time, because now we don't have that extra income coming in. But the person who's not working can't still be trying to live like he used to live before. Like that don't fly. Like let's just say if you like to have a cigar and cognac, now you may just have to sit and watch the game with a bottle of water, because now we can't afford no cognac. If it's the woman, maybe if the woman likes shopping, maybe you can't buy nothing you just got to rotate them what's in your closet, because it's a sacrifice thing. But nobody just gonna be just doing this, doing the same thing, and not just trying to look for a job, or not trying to do stuff, but still trying to spend money. That's not fair to the relationship,
right? And that's kind of how we entered our marriage, kind of a little bit, because I was trying to find a job.
Oh, I was saying, now I was gonna say, you got something to tell me?
Nah, girl,
Y'all, I start getting hot. Okay, no.
Yeah, like, so when we got married, I had a decision to make. I had a decision, because driving 100 miles a day, it was a job. It'd have been a big sacrifice. It was costing us more than we was getting any kind of gain. So, for a couple months, it was just going. Jess was the only one working, and I'm like, woo! That played a little toll, but you gotta have the ambition to be like, okay, now I can't just be sitting around here letting this woman do everything. And then it's just a gradual thing from there. I ended up finding a job. I mean, did it help? Some.
It made your car note.
Ms. Brown?
Yeah, but I told you.
No.
Okay, I mean, I can touch on though.
She got to think about it.
I mean, I can go off what they said about about one spouse making more than the other. I mean, I touched on it because we've been through that. So, to me, hey, I got your back, you got my back. What you lack, I'll pick it up. And if vice versa, if it happened to me, then you pick it up. I mean, we're in this thing together. So, and another thing, you can't make that person feel less than a woman or a man because they're not bringing in what they're used to bringing in or what they bringing in at the moment, at that moment, because it's not what you quote unquote think they're supposed to be bringing in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't, like I said, we are one.
Mm-hmm.
We a team, so I got your back.
Mm-hmm.
We not gonna always be in a situation. We in a temporary moment. That is not our permanent destination. So therefore, we got to keep on moving.
I like that. That's not our permanent destination.
This ain't.
All right, I got number 5. Children. To have, not, or to have. That's usually a first question. Food, clothing, shelter, little league, ballet, designer jeans, prom grounds, minivans, college are all part of a long list of child-related expenses. These don't include expenses for offsprings who have already left the nest. That's assuming your kids will leave the nest.
Yeah, we can
now that's true.
We can't talk on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, D.
Like,
jealous.
Well, for us, well, for us, it was already different financially. Again, I paid child support. I had two different child supports, just to be totally clear with y'all. And so that already was a financial strain on us.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we introduced the king into the picture.
Just about.
We introduced it to the king, and it was like we didn't even really have a conversation about, or did we? About if we wanted to have kids or anything like. Well, we knew we had to have kids.
We didn't even really have a chance.
Yeah, we didn't want to have kids straight out because we was married 3 months.
Was we?
No.
2 or 3 months, and then we didn't find out I was pregnant until I was already about 3 months going into 4. So, I mean, we didn't really. I mean, of course, our plan was to wait to travel to have kids here every other weekend versus having a kid here all the time, but that wasn't God's plan. So. Sure. King came along. So now that King was here, then we had to really buckle down. Like, okay, yeah, no, I don't think that did you have a job at the time, or were you were just kind of maybe part-time in the GNC or something?
Yeah, I was part-time. I was working two jobs.
So I was like, this time to grind. Like it was kind of okay before that you was trying to look for, but now I need you to be every day. Filling out applications every single day, because not only do we have child support on our back, now we have another child that's going to be in home. And if anybody know me, I don't do things half-stepping. So we're going to really have to provide to make sure that King has what he needs. Because women, y'all know, we don't know if the kid is going to breastfeed or not, if they're going to latch or not, So now we looking at formula. Y'all know how much formula costs? It's expensive. Like,
no, we don't.
It's expensive. So, you have to look at, that's right. You're looking at things from when they are a baby till, we were blessed to have King out of daycare for 6 months. But after 6 months, we had to put him in daycare. Daycare is a house note, y'all. Daycare is expensive. So you thinking about daycare, you thinking about buying car seats and stuff like that. You thinking about, still having they grow so much. Like King literally grows out of everything every single week. So I feel like I'm buying shoes all the time, clothes all the time. Like, so it's things like that we have to put away from. Like King loves sports. So, and I want him to be able to, because he snack all the time, and I'm not trying to raise no fat kids. So we have to get him active. So we have to enroll him into swimming. We have to enroll him into basketball. We have to enroll him into baseball. So things that's not free. So that costs. So you have to budget and make sure that you have the means for, to make sure that your kids have a nice, good lifestyle, And then, of course, they're going to grow up. And like the paper said, they're going to want to go to prom. They're going to want to go to college, and I want to be able to bless my kids so he won't have to pay for college. So that's going to have to be savings early, starting years before, years ago, and he's 4 now. So that stuff is expensive.
Well, before we get to number 6, the disclaimer right here is we're not talking about fat kids. We love our fat kids. We just want you to eat healthy and have a nice, healthy lifestyle. Number 6, extended family. Sometimes that come into play. Co-managing finances, respecting the goals, needs, and expectations each spouse has regarding their extended family can be especially tricky. Take, for example, her mom, she wants a vacation in Vegas. His parents need a new car. Her brother can't make the rent. His sister husband lost his job. Now, one spouse is writing a check. The other want to know why the money wasn't used to address needs at the home or fund a vacation for us. When a serious crisis arises, a unexpected death, the pressure can be magnified.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Crickets. Now look, when we went to our marriage counseling, one thing that stuck with me, what Uncle David said, when y'all get married, because I was kind of at ease going in there because I knew that was Dominique's uncle, so I just knew he was going to be on her side and be like drilling me. Well, that didn't happen. I love my Uncle David to death, as well as my Auntie Linda. But anyway, one of the things that stuck with me when he told me and Dominique, he said, let me tell you something. Y'all two getting married. You ain't marrying the family. It's you two getting married. So you have to make sure that y'all taking care of one another. Family have to come second because it's you two first. And that's the truth. And I know we on the extended family. Yes, try to help your family as much as you can. But like my wife just said, you got to take care of what's at the house first.
That's it.
You'll be taking care of them and they good. And then you may be asking them, can you come stay with them? And we ain't got no room.
Take care of your house first and discuss.
That's what it is. I think
communicate. You have to communicate. Hey, do we have some wiggle room to maybe, to help them out a little bit? If we can, we can. If we can't, we can't.
That's true.
I mean, that's just, how I see it. I mean, discuss.
Yeah.
That is y'all's together. One.
There you go.
Ain't well, let me see. Well, it's my mama. I'm gonna do anything. Yeah, I'm gonna do anything for my mama, but at the same token, mama married.
Yeah, exactly.
Or dad or daddy, I'm married. Hey, I can help you. Let me discuss that with such and such and such. Let us talk about it. I mean,
yeah, and that's the key.
They have to respect. They have to respect your marriage.
Yeah,
that just.
Yeah, and that's the whole key too.
Yeah, you got to take care of home first before anything else go out.
Take care of that house, and that's
not going to be eating ramen noodles when you over there eating T-bone steaks because you said you didn't have it.
Right.
Ooh, and we know that happened.
Yeah, and that's the key. It's all about communicating. What y'all want to do with y'all finances. If I say I want to send my daddy whatever, it's because his birthday or it's something special. We gotta talk about that first. We can't just say, "Oh, look."
Yeah, you may just have to call. You may just have to pick up the phone and call. You can't send no money.
Nah, we went in. I know we've had that before. Herbert, he liked to help, his little cousins and stuff out like that, and he just did it. And I'm like, I don't care if it was $10. What's this? What's this that's going out? What's this $50 that then left? Like, what's going on? Why did you cash out this? Why did you? Because I mean, again, I tell him, like, I don't care if it's minimum. Like, you need to discuss that. How did you know that those funds were not really allocated? Else it just hadn't come out yet. That's the discussion part of it.
But as men, we look at it as in it's just $10. Not thinking about, but it can go towards a bill or it can go towards.
I mean, like she say, I'm gonna cut you off. But like she said, it might that money might be on auto pay, and it ain't came out yet. But it's gonna come out two days after you done sit that $50. That $50 might have been for that internet. So communication. Let's talk about it. Can we do it? If we can't, we can't. If we can, we can. That's just what it is.
Now, money in marriage is what we're talking about. Is what's the topic again? Is your money my money? Is your debt my debt? Seven healthy relationship tips. You may agree, you may not. Keep a joint bank account. Discuss your lifestyle choices together. Keep purchases out in the open. Out in the open. It was 7, but I only had 3.
No, but that's some good nuggets, man. I agree with all 3 of the 7 that that you stated.
Right.
Everything is really a discussion, man. People don't understand how big it is to discuss things before you get married. And who cares if they feel like the other person getting drilled? Then that must mean that they have something to hide. Because if you're open and honest about what it is that you want or need before you get married, then that's grounds for a discussion. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you do. And if that's what you don't want to do, everybody has the right to do things that they do or they don't want to do. So they have to understand that these questions may be hard, especially when you're talking about finances, when you're talking about credit scores. That stuff is getting deep and personal. But when I'm on the verge of changing my last name, we're going to talk about some stuff in depth. And we're going to make sure that it's for us. And the way we do our finances may not be the way you do your finances. That's what works in the Washington household. So if that's what you don't want to do, by all means, you don't do that. But what we do is what we do. And like you said before about the family thing, if a lot of people be like, well, why you got to go ask her? Well, why you got to go do this? Don't you work? Don't you? What works for us is he's going to come back and he's going to ask me or discuss it. Well, not even ask. He's going to discuss it and just make sure that this is something that we can do. We'll both agree to it and say yes. But a lot of people get a lot of non-counsel from places that they shouldn't. People that's not married or maybe people that is married that's just doing it wrong. But hey, it works for them. Everything. That's why I love our podcast show that is called Black Love and Marriage Our Way. And not even saying our like the Browns and the Washingtons. I'm saying that our like the Washingtons, and y'all are saying ours like the Browns. But just be smart with your finances.
Yes, ma'am.
And talk about it.
Our cousin Mark posted, I got a lotto bill, and I don't care how mad she get. I'm paying the bill.
Mark.
Hey, Mark, don't forget about me when you hit, man.
Yeah, when you hit. It's all of our bill, okay?
I know. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is it anything that y'all want to touch on?
No, I think we've been pretty clear. It's just,
because you had a lot of notes, Brown.
That was just like, I was just reading like, okay, other people's thoughts and stuff on it. But on the the marriage club, I typed in money. And they had like it was like over 300 some comments on it. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff was very interesting. Some of it was my money is my money. His money is his money. We pay to get bills together, and what's left over is mine. Mm. What works for them, works for them.
Amen.
It's our way. It's our way. So, hey.
That's it,
I'm not gonna say it's the right and wrong way, because what works for you ain't gonna work for us. What works for us ain't gonna work for you.
Exactly.
So if that's how your household function, that's how your household function. And if y'all okay with that, y'all okay with that.
And maybe they discussed it with them.
You have to have. And y'all have, and to me, y'all have to have goals. When do we want to buy a house? Okay, well, are we gonna get? Or do we plan on getting another car? Do you plan on getting another car? What age do we plan on retiring? Okay, well, how much? What do our retiring life look like? Oh Lord.
What you did?
But you have to have all those goals. You have to have all those financial. You have to have those conversations.
Yeah.
You want to answer this?
Let's see, what is it? Click on it.
You ain't gonna be. You can see it on the screen.
Oh, real big Nick. Nick been on it tonight.
How long have y'all been married?
Go.
We have been married going on 3 years. And the Washingtons?
We have been married 5, going on 6, August the 12th.
I'm like, what is
I thought you was counting. Hey, do y'all,
look,
do
y'all
have
know think we
anything
slow, so I got
that y'all?
Y'all just no, but no. Go.
End of the day, since we talking about finance, though, we have touched on a lot of very good and common real points. And I know for me, as a married man, and just within my relationship, if God decides to bless me, right, and I get to a situation or get to a financial status where I can just solely provide for my wife, I don't mind if she don't work. I'm okay with that.
Love to get to that point. I agree.
I would love to get to that point too.
I would love that. Hey, one of our viewers, the real Big Nick, he said, "Can y'all touch on married couples with no life insurance?" Laughing out loud, shaking my head. We kind of touched on that earlier, but that's a true thing, man. Because a lot of times people don't have insurance, and my wife touched on that. And then you got to do the GoFundMe. You probably missed that conversation. You probably got to do the GoFundMe or what you call it, the fish plates.
The fish plates.
My wife say that is something that we are not doing. So
we're not.
You got to have the insurance. And trust me, my wife is on all mine. She made sure that.
I refuse to make my family and my husband look like a whole fool after I'm dead and gone.
Yeah, and I think too,
because y'all feel. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, sorry, it's Jada, but I was gonna say a lot of people too. Y'all excuse me. A lot of people too only have life insurance at their jobs, and let's just say their jobs. Let's just say they get laid off, they get fired, they quit, or something like that, and then now the life insurance is gone, but they don't realize that that's what it was. So now something happens to them, they don't have life insurance. Now that's when it's coming to GoFundMe and fish plates. But I think it's very, very, very important not only to have life insurance on your job, but have an outside policy. Have an outside policy at your credit union, at your bank, or whatever, whoever wants to be around selling life insurance, whatever. That's what you need, because that can, and that, it don't matter what job you on, you can hop around jobs. Nowadays, us as the younger generation, or whatever you want to call it, we don't stay on jobs long. Mm-hmm. So, if you're going to hop around jobs, that means that, sometimes your benefits are 90 days, 60 days, 6 months. I don't know what it is, depending on your HR, but what if something happens during that time? You need to have an outside policy, because you do not want to stick your loved ones looking crazy in the end, having to pick up that big hefty bill, having to ask everybody from everywhere, can you spare 1,000? Can you spare 2,000? Can you do this and can you do that? That's not fair to them. And then you leave them with your debt. Have yourself an outside policy, have at least, you need to know how much things cost nowadays, especially when it's coming to a funeral service or, casket, burial, all of that. You need to at least be able to cover that as well, as leave something else for your spouse, for them to cover, because the bills are going to come straight to your spouse, because they're going to see, they're going to see what you owe. that stuff come through a pre-need. You need all that. So, I mean,
Well, before I get in my takeaways, we have a retired party of two said GoFundMe is not insurance, and that is so true. Also, you can you can even purchase a pre-need at the funeral home and look in at today's rate.
Lock in today.
Oh, and lock in today's rate. So that's so true.
Pre-need at just if you don't have nothing, at least a pre-need. You know, but again, this is what this is what our community is not being taught, or you know, they're not educated on that part of it, and that's sad to me because I just hate to see all these Facebook posts and can you share this and can you share that, and you know, the GoFundMe thing. That's just, you should have a policy on yourself, on your loved ones, on your family members, because we are not here permanently. We are only here for a limited time. So since we know that, we need to plan for that. We can plan for a vacation, right? We can plan for college, you know. We can plan for the things that we want to plan, but we don't plan for one day when we know we're going to die.
And that's God's plan.
Speak on it.
So,
well, some of my key takeaways before we get off and give everybody their shouts out. If you're committed to a relationship, you and your partner owe each other a calm, honest conversation about each other's finances, habits, goals, and anxieties. Money problems involve discussions which ego, anxieties about control, and notions of marital roles will have to be checked. When working together, couples can achieve more than singles can. If debt is an issue, couples can employ various tools and strategies to start paying off debt and get into a better financial footing. This changes everything. Ideally, couples should communicate their expectations and ideas about how to raise and pay them as well before they are born. Couples who have trouble talking about money can seek out the help of a financial advisor or a planner for unbiased advice. And I think the main thing in this here, what they were saying is communication. That was something I had a hard problem in dealing with, but my wife worked me through that. And I mean, we talk about everything. I don't care if I walk through that door. We talking about job, how was the day, what you did today, how the kids doing, if I had a problem with a kid the following day. So communication is vital and it is key.
Yes, sir.
Preach.
Very good. Takeaway.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, with that being said, do y'all have any shouts out that y'all would like to give?
Yes, Kiera and Kiera and Eric James.
Oh yeah, E. James, Eric James, Sam Houston.
Yeah, they got married. They got married yesterday in Cancun.
Oh, congratulations to them.
Picture, but yeah, I'll post the picture on our page. I told we'll give them a shout out. So congratulations to them. We wish y'all many more. Stay the course.
And I'd like to give a big
right questions.
Yeah, I'd like to give a big shout out to Eric Kane and Miss Cassie Davis Kane. They just got married, so big congratulations to them. We love hearing about couples getting married. We really send you all our prayers. Continue the union going. You're a part of one of the biggest organizations in the world, and that is marriage. So congratulations to you all on that. And y'all have anybody y'all want to give some shouts out to as far as marriage?
Do you know anybody that got married?
No. I'm gonna just shout out all people that we know that are married. Hey, continue to fight.
I know that's right. But we do have some upcoming birthdays coming up, don't we?
Oh yeah. So shout out to shout out to my niece Jayla. Her 22nd birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday, Jayla.
Shout out to my mother. She's on Retired Party of Smith. Her birthday is on May the 1st. She will be 60. Y'all, my mama getting old. I love you, Mama.
What you said, 23?
She wishes she thinks she's 23. Shout out to Crystal Smith, my sister, the CEO of Six Figure Single. Her birthday is on May the 2nd, y'all. Crystal Smith, CEO of Six Figure Single Moms. Who else do we know? Who else is May, baby?
We also want to congratulate her because she had her lunch party last Saturday.
Yes.
Yep.
So congratulate her on that.
Well, with that being said, we coming to the end part of our show. Would you like to read off to our?
Okay, he put me on the spot with this one. Okay, Busy Bee Caps, the Upper Room, Diverscity Realty, Element 7 Salon, FourTre Photography. That is our baby. Ink to the T, y'all.
Ink to the T. I'm trying to put the.
You took yourself off.
Yeah.
Into the T. Catch me on Instagram. That's ink, the number 2, the T, T-E-E, where you will find all your creative shirts that you need. Tumblr's coming soon, so watch out for that. It's gonna be great.
Gene B Productions, Uncontested
Hoops.
That is.
You have your glasses on?
Not this light is in my face. That you have. Uncontested Hoops. That is Mr. Herb Washington. If you need, if you want to do a Kobe, then he's the guy for you. TT's Treats.
Oh,
well, the treats are good. We have the Footprint Ink and Charles Photography. So we want to thank all of our sponsors. Thank y'all very much for supporting us. And this show has been brought to you by Ink to the T, as you can see.
That's right. So please support Ink to the T if you need anything made from cups to T-shirts to whatever. Please contact Ink to the T. She's also on Instagram. I kind of post the logo up there as well as with the link. So please tune into that. We have some more great things to come. So please stay tuned for that. We're excited about it. We've been doing a lot of homework with it. We're doing a lot of ripping and running to get this launched off the ground. And we want to give a big shout out to Diva Speaks. And please follow her on Instagram, YouTube, as well as on Facebook. Anything else?
That's it.
Nick asked what our shirt say.
Well, that is our show.
Our shirt says Black Love and Marriage Our Way. Blam out.
Well, that is our show. We hope y'all enjoyed the show. We will be having another show coming up soon. Please follow us on all our social media outlets on Black Love and Marriage Our Way. We also on Instagram, Black Love and Marriage Our Way. We're on Stationhead. Please download the Stationhead app and follow Blam, BLAMOW. Listen to some good music. We play music every morning, sometimes in the afternoon. You can send in your 4 favorite artists, and we'll create a music list for you to play, and it'll always be featured on our Stationhead app radio station. We're on Instagram. Did I say that already? Instagram, Black Love and Marriage Our Way. We're on Twitter, BLAMOW 22. So please follow us on all our social media outlets. This show will be found on the Upper Room YouTube page. That's the Upper Room. Look for the 8-ball logo with the 8-ball in the middle. And we will be coming with our own YouTube page soon. So with that being said, we got to go. And we got to go.
We got to go. And we got to go.
Thank y'all.
Holler.
Ow.
Really appreciate it. Ow.
Whoa.